My tribe, my XRP army, everybody out there in YouTube land. I want to take you back in time and learn some lessons about strategic materials. Bear in mind that China is implementing new export restrictions on silver to begin on January 1st, which is 3 weeks from now. 1 second. Okay, I'm back. Sorry. Silver is going to hit $65 before the end of this year. Right now, XRP today it hit $1.98. China produces 6% of the world's silver. The U.S. produces 12%. The other is produced by Mexico, Peru, some other places. India is buying silver like it's going out of style. China refines the majority of the silver. China has introduced export restrictions on October 30th to take effect January 1st. Shanghai reserves dropped 40% in 3 weeks since then. There are reports that Chinese buyers of silver are paying $108 to $128 per ounce. Unconfirmed. You can't confirm anything in China. AI will use 200 million ounces of silver all by themselves. Then you got solar on top of that, missiles, cell phone production. There is an 800 million ounce deficit in silver as of right now. It is projected that this year's silver deficit will be what? 300 million ounces, a deficit? That means pulling it into reserves. The COMEX in London has already panicked once and flown airplanes around the world bringing silver in to meet demand. On top of that, someone in China stood up for what, 100 million ounces or something? And the COMEX said, well, maybe not. Silver's going to explode, folks. My channel's about changing your financial situation from that of a slave to money to that of a slave holder of money. Make your money go out and gather more of itself unto yourself. Is silver a bargain today at $64? I don't know. What if the price goes to $300 in a couple years? Was it a bargain? And you 2.5 extra money? That's not bad. I bought silver at $3.25, and I bought all the way up to today. My wife and I are waiting for a delivery. Right now, we went in together and bought some, and I'll buy some more. But I'm not buying paper. I'm buying assets, physical assets. Okay, you got me there. XRP is not a physical asset, but it acts like a physical asset in the same way that Bitcoin acts like a physical asset. People treat it that way for reasons such as not being able to make more of it. There's a limited supply. So right now, is there a supply crunch in silver? Yeah, I say there is a huge supply crunch, and it's going to get worse. It's only going to get worse. We're either going to have to stop with the green initiative, stop building missiles, pull back on silver content in satellites and cell phones and all that kind of stuff, and use other materials, which will shorten the life of those items, in particular the green initiative, and go back to burning coal and nuclear and this, that, the other, or we're going to see the price of silver skyrocket just phenomenally. There's always a lag to these things. Once the green initiative hit the books, you don't just undo it. There's too many people forcing people of power into it. Could be done, I suppose, at a high enough level, but I don't think it will be done. Why? Because those people are positioning themselves, the people that make the decisions about these things are positioning themselves right now to hold all the silver, and they will benefit from it. You make sure you're benefiting too. It's important. So, what else we got? 2025 deficit is, is the 2025 deficits in silver will be 200 million ounces, is what they say. Not the 300 million I said. So where does this lead us? This takes us into these things have happened before. So China is trying to control silver. Well, forget about trying to control. They really are, because everybody sends their silver there. And while they're not going to just say, we're not giving you your silver back, Peru, Mexico, United States Mint, through contracts, they're going to simply say things like, well, you know what? We got to inspect it again for purity. Well, we had a problem with some controls over here, and now we've got to do this and do that, and they'll delay it, and the market will explode. And China's been on a silver and gold buying spree. So what happens then? The price goes through the roof. And then what does China do? They release the dam. The dam breaks. And they sell the silver at greatly inflated prices. China's in financial problems, and their government's in trouble. Do you think they'll do something like that? Delay shipping thing out for 8 months, for a year, saying, oh yeah, it's here, don't worry. What did the United States do to Germany's gold? The exact same thing. Why? Because we didn't have it. China's playing the long game. They're going to bid the price up through this process. So says I. I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. I'm not affiliated with any agencies whatsoever. I'm just some dude with a camera. Well, this isn't even a camera. It's my phone. My phone has a camera. And I'm trying to encourage people to not miss out. Okay, where do we go from there? Where do we go from there? It's all good. It's all good, right? Life is perspective. Buy silver, buy gold, buy XRP, buy Bitcoin, buy this, buy that. Buy things that buy rice and lentils. Things that hold value because they have intrinsic value. You see this tree right here? This tree burned in a big firestorm. Everything, this side of it burned in a big firestorm. This tree right here didn't. These people over here still have their home because of borate bombers. Which side of this do you want to be on? Which side? You want a firestorm to consume your home? You want to get saved from the firestorm. This right here, you might as well call that silver, gold, XRP, Bitcoin, beans, rice. Things that have intrinsic value. Your barrier between the firestorm that is coming. And it's coming, folks, in a big way. Ain't nothing going to stop it. Nothing's going to stop it. The world is awash in debt, and they have to wash that debt away. And they've always done it by taking away from the little people and protecting the richy rich. That's just history. And governments will do anything they have to do to stay in power. And trust me, China's going to do whatever it takes to stay in power. This has happened before in history. In 1870, Britain had 60% of the world's silver. China produced silk, tea, other things that the world wanted. And Britain moved it all around the world. Well, China demanded payment in silver only. And they kind of drew down Britain's silver supplies in a big way. And they got into a pissing match in a war. So Britain flooded China with opium from India. And a war started. And the Chinese lost. And they had to give up Shanghai or Hong Kong to Britain for 100 years. China learned from that. They learned their lesson. They're not going to repeat the same mistake. You don't just stand up refining capability here in the United States. There are permits and regulations and physical building and all that kind of stuff that goes into it. We're not going to start refining silver here overnight. It's going to take a while. And what happens in between that time when China refuses to distribute the silver that they have and to refine it and send it out into the world? And they create more regulations to make it more difficult so that they can sit on it. And the time that the United States can actually refine. It could take 5 years, 10 years, who knows? We're going to be putting tremendous, the United States, is going to be putting tremendous pressure on Mexico, Peru, and all these other places that produce silver to produce more. But they can't. They're already at capacity, maximum capacity. So yeah, let's talk silver. Get on board, my tribe. God bless y'all. Take care. And I'm out.